At least 3 million European citizens live in the UK and at least 2 million Brits in other European countries. Now they're worried Brexit could mean they lose the right to stay in their adoptive homes, and some have now come to Brussels to talk to EU leaders about their fears. Anne-Laure Donskoy is French, but she's lived in Bristol for 30 years. She met the European Commission's Brexit negotiator Michel Barnier on Tuesday.
All we have at the moment is Mr. Barnier's word that tells us that he is aiming for an agreement, at least on key principles around EU citizens' rights, and he's very adamant he will ensure that those rights are not diluted at all.
Some Europeans living in Britain have already received letters from the government saying they should plan to leave, because when they tried to apply for residency, they discovered their paperwork wasn't quite in order.
There are more and more stories really in the last few weeks and months of people who are being asked to prove that they have a right of residency, which shouldn't happen. Until the UK actually leaves the EU, which is in 2 years' time, nothing has changed. We shouldn't be asked to prove that we have a right of residency, not at all. So people are suddenly being asked to question the reason why they are in the UK and have established a life, etc.
Key figures, including London Mayor Sadiq Khan, have urged the British government to unilaterally offer all EU citizens the right to stay. But the government is also under pressure from Leave supporters to deliver a cut in the numbers of EU nationals living in the UK. Some observers say that could turn out to be just tough talk.
I think you have two options. You can go for qualitative or quantitative controls, and I do think that quantitative control, so the so-called quotas, is not going to be an option, because economically it's very damaging for the UK. So when it comes to qualitative controls, there's where we're going to see a regime that, in my opinion, is going to be really, really similar to what we already have.
It's been reported that the British government would like Wednesday, March 29th, 2017, to be a cut-off date, so only European citizens who already live in Britain would get the right to stay after Brexit. The European Parliament also has the power to veto any deal and has said it won't accept an agreement that doesn't give EU citizens who move to the UK within the next 2 years the same rights as those who live there now. Elena Casas, CGTN, Brussels.